Oh, Pearson gets it in the 95 of Folks. Here comes the caution.
Flag is dropped here at Daytona and away. Go for the first time. Nicholas Morcel, Sean.
Looks like most get through unscathed. Look at that, there's Reed Gibson. A big move at the inside line of Dom's, possibly a little bit of contact.
Now as we've got 3 wide action going through turns 1 and 2.
And they're underway. Eric Hahn takes a nice jump. Wilson hasn't let him go very far.
Nice to go out here for Circuit Spa Francorchamps. Alex Johnson's off to a brilliant start there.
Just how oddly shaped this one is. We saw in the background Eric Hahn go for a bit of a swing, and he's gone and he's over.
New stuff. Cody Graham's the one-on-one up into second place. Alex Johnson 6/10 lead at the moment.
They're dicey up front. There's Andrew Kessel, Justin Sang.
They are ready to go. The lights are out and away we go for the very first time here at Okayama International Circuit. Finley Fitzsimmons.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the League Zero Racing Series, the premier Formula 3 iRacing League. We are here at Phillip Island Circuit, the Australian Grand Prix. It is the season finale of Season 7. Welcome back, fans, friends, and family. It is good to have you. As always, my name is James Eastbury, the Action 1080p 60 frames a second. On behalf of Team Goon Squad, as we're getting drivers out onto the grid, let's go ahead and run through your starting order. On pole, Jaden Calloway, the number 37. Shazi Zuhair starting second. Leo Delma starting third. Felipe Sarkis starting fourth. Ray Aguilar starting fifth. Ryan Tebow starting sixth. Jace Meyer starts seventh. Gareth McAllister, the world-famous Australian, starting eighth. Jacob Bramley starting ninth. Peter Rettinger starts 10th. Nick Peterson starting 11th. Alex Rhodes starting 12th. Cycling in the back to Xavier Zanave, the Flying Frenchman, starting 13th. Devin Hughes starts 14th. Antonio Bianchi, the Italian Stallion, starting 15th. Chase Small starting 16th. And John Kasai, the Propane Man, will round out the 17-car grid here today. Let us know where you're from and who you're cheering on. Drivers will very frequently have the broadcast pulled up on a separate device, and if they don't, they just about always go back and watch this thing over. And tonight will be the night championships will be decided. Both the individual championship and the team standings championship. Keep an eye out on 2 drivers, Ray Aguilar and Antonio Bianchi, racing for Avanti Motorsports. They are in the points lead for the team, but they've got Squid Gang Racing and Hot Pursuit behind them. On Squid Gang is Jaden Calloway and Felipe Sarkis. They are second and third in the overall points. We got Finley Fitzsimmons joining us in the spectator area. He's cheering on McAllister. Waiting on Aguilar, McAllister, Bramley to make their way out onto the grid. Winding the clock down. We've got Aguilar still waiting on McAllister and Bramley. There's McAllister waiting on Bramley now, will be our last driver. Hopefully we see that number 6 make his way out to the grid in time. He's starting P9. Oh, Bramley's going to be close here if he makes it to the grid. Not quite sure what he's doing here and why it is taking so long. There we go. The grid is set. Jacob Bramley has made his way out onto the circuit. And we're going to get ready for the lights to come on. They'll click off and we'll get things started here. And we are green flag racing here at the season finale. League Zero, the Australian Grand Prix, and it's going to be a very busy turn 1. Oh, we're already 3 wide off track. I think that was Shazi Zuhair. Using a bit of a squeeze there between Aguilar and Delmas. Hopefully can keep things going, and I think he's still sliding. My goodness, what a crash. Thankfully, no damage on that number 10 machine, but 3 wide, lap 1, turn 2, not always a good sign. Hopefully Zuhair can get things fired back up. He had a great pace here in qualifying. Callaway holds on to the race lead. Looks like Delmas and Sarkis having a battle for third. Gareth McAllister and Nick Peterson also in the fray. There's Sarkis, the number 4 machine, glued to the back of Delmas is the number 20. Delmas, a bit of a newcomer here at League Zero, but very quickly coming into his own. And now it looks like McAllister, the number 25 machine, takes a peek to the inside line of Sarkis, and Sarkis spins right in the field. Able to thankfully spin out of the way of traffic, but a very precarious spot for Sarkis to be in. Checking in on Jace Meyer's 21 machine. He's got Jacob Bramley, the number 6, tucked in behind. Bramley shoots to the right side. Oh, it's getting a little bit dicey out on track. Another good battle. Leo Delmas, Gareth McAllister. We're swapping back and forth there. And now McAllister's going to have pressure from Nick Peterson. No, he gets a big run there, puts it back towards Delmas to see if he can fight his way up into third of that number 25. Callaway still your race leader, Aguilar in second. But we've got another crash report, and I think it's going to be a pretty big one. And the caution will come out. Let's see what happened. It shows Jace Meyer being one of the first drivers involved in that number 21 machine. There's going to be contact here. Meyer, the red and white, trying to shoot at the inside line of Bramley. Oh, I think he just completely overcooked the mark. Oh, and this crash just rapidly got worse. Let's get another replay queued up on that one. And we will have a caution. So again, we're focusing on Jace Meyer, the number 21. Trying to see what happened to Ryan Tebow here. So Meyer is going to just cook it way too deep on the brakes. I want to see where else the problems start to come. So there's Meyer. He's going up the inside line of Bramley. Sends it in very deep. Oh, I think maybe Tebow may have cut in. And then poor Bramley, nowhere to go, just slams into the wounded Tebow sitting right in the race line. The caution will be out here at the season finale as we are under pacing conditions. Current top 5. Callaway, Aguilar, Delmas make it up the top 3. McAllister and Peterson will make up the top 4. Top 5, excuse me. Now, no driver took a tow down pit road during that incident, so in theory, Ryan Tebow, Jace Meyer can get back out on track if they can get those machines back into good running order. Meyer did get back out on track after 11 minutes in his stall. Ryan Tebow still in pit road, 50 seconds and counting. Now we think we might have saw the wing fall off of Tebow, so it's going to be an uphill battle if he can get that machine fixed. Couple hard chargers out on track. Devin Hughes, Antonio Bianchi running 7th and 8th. They're both up 7 positions. You can see Jace Meyer hammering down, trying to catch up to the rest of the field. Looks like everything in the car is in relatively the right spot. We got Mr. Mathod here. Join us in the spectator area. Yeah, good point. Both Sarkis and Zuhair might have been saved by the caution here. Linking the field back up. If you remember, Zuhair, after that big off-track moment in the opening lap, was 19 seconds behind the rest of the field. Jacob Bramley back down pit road. Ryan Tebow has yet to leave pit road. And a long lap under caution here. at Phillip Island, the Australian Grand Prix. We've got about, let's call it about 6/10 of a lap left before we get back underway for the racing. Bramley's back out on track after getting that machine as fixed as he can, that number 6. My oh my, what a very lengthy lap it is at Phillip Island behind this iRacing safety car. About a minute and 5 seconds slower than what they were doing under race pace. The field clicking off about 2-minute and 25-second lap times last time by fastest lap of the race so far, Jaden Calloway, a 124.25. I'm sure he is not happy about the safety car being deployed as he had built up a pretty healthy gap. And now he's going to have Aguilar willing to put the pressure on early. Aguilar in second, already up 3 positions from where he qualified. Here we go. Race car is in. Green flag will fly at Phillip Island. Let's see what Aguilar does here. Does he take a quick shot at Callaway, or is he going to wait? It looks like he's going to wait a little while into the decreasing radius left-hander. Now, I had the opportunity to turn some of the laps here at Phillip Island before today's show, and I've got to say, a deceptively tough track. Feels very similar to what I would think is an Australian Barber Motorsports. Very, very similar with the off-camber, decreasing radius, a lot of blind corners. Oh, we've got problems, big problems. Gareth McAllister, Leo Delmas, both involved in that one. We saw some bodywork flying. Didn't quite catch what happened to Delmas. Focusing on the teal and white number 25 of McAllister on the left side of your screen. Tough angle. I can't tell if McAllister turned in, and the hits just keep coming. That was Nick Peterson, I believe, maybe with some body work coming off. Trying to see, does Peterson still have his wing? Looks like all the important bits are there for Peterson. Somebody lost some body work, though. That McAllister has everything. Excuse me, Leo Delmas does. I wonder if maybe McAllister lost some hard parts. Oh, and Razmi Panto, a little bit 3-wide shenanigans. That's Zanave, McAllister, Renger. Zanave, the flying Frenchman, that's going to be his 5th spot gain. Oh, and way too deep on the brakes. Gets punted by Renger. McAllister locks it up. And who was that just got sent to orbit? That was Chase Small with a wild ride. He's missing some parts. Unfortunately for McAllister, things just going from bad to worse. Not sure how Renger got through that one unscathed. Tried to lock it up, just did not have quite enough time. Up front, Callaway and Aguilar have pulled about a 3-second gap over Nick Peterson in 3rd. Gotta give Peterson credit here as well. He's been getting faster and faster over the course of several seasons now. So good to see that number 24 machine more often competing inside the top 3. Aguilar all over the gearbox of Callaway. And right there in the draft, doesn't look like he's trying to make a pass for the lead though. Seems to be content following that 37. Callaway did put it on pole for this feature event. And they're continuously pulling ground over Nick Peterson in third, 3 1/4 seconds up. Jace Meyer has an off-track excursion, way off in the gravel. Does he get help? Nobody's going to be all on his own, so lonesome. We were saying it's a decreasing radius corner, and not, from what I can tell in my brief few laps in the car, not a lot of reference points going into that one. Makes it very tough to set up and very easy to drive in a little bit too deep. And if you hit it just a little bit too fast, it wants to tend to make that car drift wide. And as we saw in the case of Meyer, easy way to get sent way off the track. Now on pit road, it's Gareth McAllister, Chase Small, and Ryan Tebow. Devin Hughes has a little bit of company there from Antonio Bianchi. Bianchi, the number 17 right behind. He is up 9 positions, as well as Hughes. So both 5th and 6th place drivers, Hughes and Bianchi, up 9 spots each. Bianchi makes that very clean pass. And we've got a battle for 9th. Kasai sliding up along the inside of Delmas. Now I wonder if Delmas has a little bit of damage in that number 20. Involved in a couple of incidents here, as you saw Kasai. That's going to be his 8th spot gain and makes it look very, very easy. But we got to go back up front. Callaway and Aguilar, this has been a story all season long. Separated by just 10th. Sometimes it was less than a 10th during this lap 8 of the season finale. Wondering what Aguilar's strategy is going to be here. Staying glued to the back of Callaway. Oh, and we've got more problems for the Frenchman. Xavier Zanave finds himself involved in another incident. He falls back to 11th. Oh, I think he saw the caution. I think he has to get confirmation. That was Jacob Bramley. So I think Zanave was just heavy on the binders, maybe expecting a questionable rejoin. Thankfully, that was not the case, but now Zanave is not having the night he's looking for. The uphill battle continues for the Frenchman. Oh, there's a big blink from Sarkis. That may give Rettinger a fighting chance here in the 44. You can see John Kasai not too far out of frame, chasing these two drivers, battling for 7th. Chazi Zuhair down pit road. Is it an undercut or is it an opportunity to try and get that machine fixed? And this pit stall a relatively long time, 27.7 seconds, so surely he must have had some sort of damage. Unfortunately for Zuhair, things going from bad to worse. Now, even though it's the tail end of this season, I think in future seasons, Chazi Zuhair, that number 10, I think he's going to be a contender we talk about a lot. He's been getting very fast, very quickly in his debut rounds here at League Zero. So very interested to see what that driver is going to be able to do in the coming years. We've been calling the action here at League Zero a very long time with Team Goon Squad. I want to say 4 or 5 seasons so far, and as a broadcaster, always very interesting seeing the fresh faces coming out and suddenly having more and more drivers battling for top 5s, if not just their personal best. We did get a pit road report. Ryan Tebow, after almost 9 minutes in his pit stall, is getting back out on track. There's only one driver in front of him who has retired. That's Chase Small, who put it back in the virtual hauler. So if Tebow's going to try and get some points here, he's got to hope for a few more drivers to have terrible luck. And he may be getting his wish, as Devin Hughes finds himself pointing the wrong direction, dropping all sorts of spots. And then Peter Renger has problems. Side by side goes Bianchi and Rhodes. The battle for fourth. Bianchi the purple and black, Rhodes the blue and white. Now, in practice and qualifying, drivers were saying the car really gets loose over the run once the tires get a whole lot of heat in them. And even on some of the flat out sections, having to find themselves lifting a little bit to keep the rear end planted. Bianchi, his longtime rival, dare I say nemesis, Nick Peterson, just ahead 0.6 of a second. But I think Alec Rhodes wants to get that number 15 machine as well. He can see a podium in sight. As a racer, it's always a little bit easier to get that momentum going once you have a driver in front to chase, and Bianchi very slowly finding some time against Peterson. 100th here, 100th there, as he gets within a half second of that third place driver. But Alex Rhodes not letting Bianchi, no, excuse me, that's Bianchi chasing down Nick Peterson. Bianchi's pulled about a 9/10 gap over Rhodes, but he has got it within 0.3 of a second behind Peterson. Now I wonder if Bianchi's maybe going to wait a little bit, using that draft off of Peterson, trying to pull a bigger advantage. No is the answer as he shoots to the inside. I thought Bianchi was going to bide his time, try and get some breathing room with Alex Rhodes behind, and Peterson able to defend against the number 17. Holds on to third. Now this is not what Peterson and Bianchi want. They want to get a bit of a gap from Alex Rhodes and just make this a two-car battle. But they are slowing down the pace with more side-by-side action. Peterson very wide there. Bianchi takes over the final podium spot, and now Peterson's going to have a whole lot of company from Alex Rhodes in the 15. Is Rhodes going to hop out of line here with a big lunge? Looks like he's going to stay behind Peterson. Peterson trying to catch that draft off the back of Bianchi's number 17. Bianchi, our hard charger so far, is up 12 positions. Had a dismal qualifying starting P15, but has worked his way all the way up into third. Oh, Peterson, a bit of a micro lock up there, trying to keep Rhodes at bay. This is giving Bianchi the breakaway he was looking for. Now, unless something wild happens, I think Bianchi would have to settle for a third here, as Jaden Calloway, Ray Aguilar, your race leaders, have pulled almost an 8-second advantage over the rest of the field. Clicking off laps and making it look easy. Devin Hughes finds himself in a precarious position. Now it looks like Peterson maybe very slowly here catching up to the back of Bianchi. But if Alex Rhodes tries to make it too wide again, they're going to lose that draft support. This is the battle for fourth on screen. Bianchi about 9/10 of the fourth and 9/10 ahead of the fourth and fifth place driver. And we did have another crash report as well. This time it's Gareth McAllister, the world famous Aussie. Let's see what happened. As far as crashes go, couldn't be much more gentle than that. Callaway and Aguilar staying glued to each other. Really, right now, all eyes are on Alex Rhodes, who we're on board with. And you can, oh, look at that, a big step out there from Peterson. We talked about the tire wear and tire management. That's exactly what we mean, where the back end wants to get free step around on these drivers. As they come to the start-finish line, look at the massive run from Alex Rhodes. It's going to set him up for the outside into turn one. What's Peterson going to do? He will yield the spot to Rhodes. And great racing amongst these drivers. I think Bianchi's looking in the rearview mirror, just hoping that Rhodes and Peterson keep going at it. It is a very fierce fight for fourth. And side by side again. This time it's Peterson on the inside. Rhodes will have to yield the spot. And this is giving Bianchi a very healthy breakaway. Up front, Callaway and Aguilar, we've seen the split between the two get as low as 1/10 of a second. So Aguilar feeling very comfortable here, just kind of cruising behind Callaway. So you can see Aguilar will take a peek to the inside, then lift a little bit. Opting to rather stay behind the race leader. Now Felipe Sarkis, lap 16, he'll be one of the first drivers in for a scheduled green flag stop. So the fuel window officially open for these drivers. Oh, look at that. A bit of a lock up there from Aguilar. Very uncharacteristic. Too deep on the brakes. In a race that has been very reliant on tire management. That is not what Aguilar was looking for. Now, I would imagine with the track position he's been holding, I think he's going to opt to stay behind Callaway. As lap traffic yields to the race leaders, that was Shazi Zuhair, who's just had a very disappointing evening, especially for somebody who has so much talent. Just things have gone terribly awry for that number 10 machine. Hopefully he gets a bit of a redemption in the sprint race. Now don't forget, after this feature event, the 28 lap main event, we have a very brief intermission and then the sprint race, the final sprint race of this season. Is going to be 14 laps and a whole lot of action here. Leo Delmas also down pit road. So I think the strategy from Aguilar is going to be here, if he thinks he has more pace than Callaway, wait for Callaway to run out of fuel, have to come down pit road. And if Aguilar has done enough fuel saving tucked in behind the number 37, he'll be able to stay out an extra lap and then he'll have clean track ahead of him. Jacob Bramley goes for a wild ride, the number 6. little bit too much throttle, and around she goes for Bramley. Now the big question is, when are the race leaders going to have to come down pit road? They've gained 9 seconds over third place Antonio Bianchi. John Kasai's coming down pit road for his one scheduled pit stop. On board with Ray Aguilar. You can see he definitely has the pace to at least try and make a move on Callaway, but they seem very content just kind of tucking along here. About 10 laps left to go here, the final feature event of the season. Aguilar trying to force Callaway into some sort of mistake. Callaway doing very well under the pressure. We know he's got the pace. There goes Callaway down pit road. Now I'm going to get the camera pointed over at Callaway if we can. Apparently no good pit road cameras here. Well, in a very busy pit road, so we're going to try and get the camera focused on Callaway when he leaves. There's an alternative pit exit that drivers are able to use here, way down into turn 1, and that is what Callaway is going to do, the old access road. So accompanying him on pit road was Antonio Bianchi, Nick Peterson, Alex Rode, Peter Rettinger, Devin Hughes also down pit road, so we're expecting Aguilar to come down pit this time by. Now in a perfect world, after Aguilar pits, he should be 2 to 3 tenths behind Callaway if all things stay consistent. Aguilar flinging it down pit road. Got the camera panned back to Callaway. How are these pit stops going to affect the running order? Callaway still 9 seconds up over Antonio Bianchi. Callaway spent 4.95 seconds in his pit stall. Aguilar 5.02. Ooh, how's this one going to shape up? Looks like Aguilar is going to take the lead here. And yes, Aguilar able to hold on to it. Callaway is going to be playing second fiddle for the first time here this evening. But now Aguilar is out front. Will he be able to try and shake off Callaway? We've seen Aguilar pacing that number 37 for the opening just about 20 laps. Watching to see where Callaway is quick, maybe to see where he can improve a little bit of time on. And now I wonder as well if Callaway is going to take it easy and then just kind of wait till the white flag to make a big move. The problem with waiting so long is if you do not have the opportunity you're looking for, no second chances if you wait till that white flag. And here we go, a battle for the final podium spot. Jacob Bramley getting more comfortable into the late part of this race. Oh, as I say that, Bramley has to come down pit road for a second time. He came in on lap 3 to get that thing fixed back into good shape. So unfortunately, that hard work will be undone for the number 6 machine. All eyes currently glued to the race leaders, just in a league of their own, 10 seconds up over third place Bianchi. Now this is where Aguilar is most comfortable, most happy. He's out front. He's got clean air on the front wing in the number 72 machine. If you look at the track map, the bottom right-hand corner, it's relatively clean sailing for the top two. You can see the number 14, or excuse me, the 14th position driver, Leo Dalmas, a couple sections ahead with 7 laps left to go, and the pace Dalmas has had here today, I don't think lap traffic is going to be too much of a concern. Callaway kind of measuring up Aguilar to see what type of run he can get with the draft. If I was a man of wagering, and I am, I think Callaway is going to wait till 1 or 2 laps left to go in this feature event before taking a shot at Aguilar. Oh, we've got more problems out on track. Alex Rhodes, who was running so well here and was battling for podium contention, has a moment. Now Felipe Sarkis, the number 4, trying to nab that 4th place spot. And keep an eye out on Nick Peterson. He's got his teammate John Kasai behind, as there's a bit of a lockup there, I think, from Sarkis. So the two drivers with the Chase Motorsports will both be battling for a top 5 here. Peterson in 5th, a 10th and change off the back of Rhodes. And Felipe Sarkis at the front of this small freight train. Sarkis about 3/4 of a second up over 5th place Rhodes. Rhodes has Nick Peterson in extremely hot pursuit. Peterson hops out of line as they go side by side. Rhodes gonna try and guard the inside line into turn 1. Ooh, very close here, but now Peterson's gonna be set up for the left-hander. And I think Rhodes had to do a bit of heavy lifting, came into that corner very, very hot. And that has allowed John Kasai, the number 3 machine, to pull himself a little bit closer here. Now, we talked about Zuhair early on and his bad luck. Thankfully, not all bad news. He is currently back up into 12th. So if he holds onto that spot with the inverted grid for the sprint, that'll put him at the very front for that 14-lap sprint to cap off the season. Rhodes and Peterson still going at it here. Got a report Peter Rettinger has taken a tow back to pit road. He is done and out of this event. On board with John Kasai, you can see Peterson and Rhodes right ahead. There's Peterson, hops to the right side for turn 1. Is he gonna send it? Yes, he is. Rhodes backs out of it slightly and helping to facilitate that pass, but look at the ground Kasai grabs here. And what a great shot, especially listening to the engine revs on Kasai's engine, of how deceptively fast that turn 2 is. Guy wants to get up a little bit further, see if he can lend his support to his teammate Peterson. Sarkis still sitting in 4th. Now up front, your race leader, Ray Aguilar, has pulled Aguilar pulls a 1 second gap over Jaden Calloway. So we knew Aguilar was going to be fast up front if he got clean air. We just didn't know how extremely quick he would be. Rhodes and Peterson side by side once more. Kasai in 7th, just not quite able to catch up to this battle as Felipe Sarkis in 4th desperately wants a breakaway. As Peterson and Rhodes have fantastic pace. I think if they weren't battling so intently against each other, they would definitely be battling against Sarkis. Now they're about 9 seconds back. As man, these guys are throwing lunges at each other. They're 9 seconds back, 10 seconds back from Antonio Bianchi in 3rd. Peterson breaks free of Rhodes, has a half-second advantage. Rhodes has a mirror image of half-second no, make it 3/10 behind him. That's John Kasai in 7th. He's up 10 spots. Our hard charger on track, though, still Antonio Bianchi up 12 positions in that final podium spot. Just a couple of laps left to go here. Drivers pulling out all the stops for the season finale. As let's see who hops out of line and takes a big lunge here. Nose to tail, they go into turn 1. Peterson holds on to 5th and going into turn 2. And it looks like they may be gaining some ground on Felipe Sarkis in 4th, who we thought had a breakaway here. So Sarkis is not out of this one yet. There's Sarkis, the number 4 machine, sitting in 4th. And there's that very heated battle right behind Peterson and Rhodes. Kasai's fallen back just a little bit here. As Aguilar, your race leader, checking out almost a 1.5 seconds ahead of Jaden Calloway. We check in on race leader Ray Aguilar. You just saw Calloway behind that number 37. Aguilar is clicking off laps here and here to put on a clinic. Now, if he wins this feature event, I believe he will cinch the championship and earn the number 1 for season 8. Get a report, Shazi Zuhair has to come down pit road for the 2nd time. As we unfurl the white flag at the start and finish line, Barney, our flagman, stands ready. There we go, white flag is out. The final feature event of the season, the Australian Grand Prix here at League Zero. Aguilar's pulled that gap to 2 seconds. A half lap left to go for Aguilar. Still pretty intense battling going on for the 5th place spot. In the 4th place spot, Nick Peterson has caught up to Felipe Sarkis. You can see Alex Rhodes, John Kasai right behind. Peterson's found some aggressiveness late into this race, as Sarkis tries to defend against that number 24 machine. Peterson all over the gearbox as they narrowly avoid contact. Peterson slides through, but Ray Aguilar will take home the win, and we've got problems. Antonio Bianchi, who is sitting in 3rd, has a big moment. No, Bianchi's going to lose podium position here at the line. There goes Felipe Sarkis. There goes Nick Peterson. This is going to be hectic. You've got about 5 different drivers battling for the final podium spot. And who's it going to be at the line? It's Felipe Sarkis, steals 3rd. My, oh my, Bianchi was just robbed on that one. Ray Aguilar celebrating in style, bringing home the final feature win as well as the season championship. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have a brief intermission, and then we'll get our top 3 up here into victory lane. All right, we've got our drivers waiting following the feature event. Up first, it's Felipe Sarkis, the number 4, sliding and sneaking your way into that final podium spot. I mean, Felipe, I think at one point, you're I think almost 10 seconds back, and then next thing we know, there's about 5 of you guys battling for that position.
Oh man, it was like a P1 for me. Really, really nice finish.
Yeah, I mean,
on lap 1,
go ahead.
on lap 1, I clipped the grass because I did not want to like lose Jaden and Ray. But then I was like P last. Oh man. So exciting. But
Now, Felipe,
nice
there was great racing all across that one for you. I mean, you had Kasai, Rhodes, Peterson. You guys were going back and forth nonstop. I mean, even if you didn't get a third, that was fantastic racing the entire event.
Oh man, thank you very much. I was on fire. And I would like to thank Bianchi.
Yeah,
because
no.
he made a mistake and we got close. It was nice.
Well, no doubt, able to slide up into third now. Besides your competition, Felipe, anybody else you want to thank for this final podium of the feature event?
Oh, everyone involved on Squid Gang. Um, Jaden, of course, my teammate, and my wife and family, my kids.
Awesome. Felipe, always a pleasure, my friend. Congratulations to you and the team, and best of luck in the final sprint of the season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
See you.
sir. That was Felipe Sarkis sliding his way up into third. Up next, his teammate, Jaden Calloway, the 37, Squid Gang Racing. Man, what a great race for you and the team here tonight.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good overall race. Sadly, Ray played it smart, and we couldn't get the win, but still, it was a good race.
Yeah, I mean, you guys kept it very clean. It seemed like you and Ray just couldn't shake each other. Now, what were you thinking when he was ahead of you by just a couple of tenths after his pit stop? What was going through your head on that one?
Really, second place would be the better spot to be in because the draft is so strong. But at that point of the race, my tires were just dead, and so my pace just started dropping off a lot.
Well, Jaden, it's been a long time since you were just the newcomer here at League Zero. You find yourself on the podium more often. You've had a win to your name. I mean, how pumped are you with your career here at the series to find yourself so high up in the points, both in the individual and team championship?
Yeah, it's cool. It's really exciting compared to when I first started racing here. Me and Felipe started practicing together a lot more, and we made a lot of progress over the last couple seasons.
Awesome. Jaden, as a broadcaster and a race fan, it's been a ton of fun to watch. It's going to be very interesting to see how the team points shake out on this one, especially with the sprint race coming up. But before I let you go and get ready, who do you want to give a shout out to that helped you bring home the second here tonight in the feature?
As always, my friends and family watching, they're the ones supporting me, my teammate Felipe, and our team, Squid Gang Racing.
Awesome. Jaden, always a pleasure. Best of luck in the sprint, my friend.
Thank you.
That was Jaden Calloway bringing it home in second. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, and the season champion locking it up. Ray Aguilar, welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, good run. It was a good season. I'm glad we got to go through all this stuff together as a family unit.
I feel like we've all grown and developed on and off the track thanks to this one. And now you'll be sporting the #1 plate, aptly bringing home the final feature win of the season. I mean, I know you kind of came into tonight with relatively low stress, just got to finish relatively well to lock everything up, but you've got to be pumped to also bring home the win at this one and kind of put a big punctuation point on the season.
Yeah, that was a fun one because I didn't have the pace. I think Jaden and actually a couple of guys in practice were definitely faster than me consistently. And so once I got a good start, I just thought to myself, I got to stick behind this dude and just use the toe to stay back here and hope he makes a mistake. And ended up figuring out some lines, and I think our paces were close coming out of the stops and got lucky at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you and Jaden, I think you're actually 500ths of a second slower than your pit stall, but still came out a couple of tenths ahead and then able to defend in turn two. So, you know, historically, you don't always want to be the lead driver in the white flag lap, but were you pretty happy with the track position on that one?
Yeah, once there was a gap, I thought I was going to go away, but once I had a decent gap and he was out of the toe, I knew I was safe to just, as long as I could not lose more than a second in that lap, I'd be up there. And then with the being behind during the first stint really helped because it ended up giving me an extra like 1.7 laps of fuel, and so I was able to fuel less. And yeah, I kind of was shocked when I came out in front of him. I didn't really want to be in the lead until the last lap. It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out very well, locking up the championship, winning that final feature event. Now, I know the team point's still at play, so you've got some work to do in the sprint race, but surely this win and then locking everything up took a whole lot of pressure off of you and the team.
It sure did. And we, especially since the team printed the t-shirts early, the championship team shirts early, so we kind of jinxed ourselves, but now that we pretty much, I think, have locked it out at this point, I think we're good to go. It's time to think about what we're going to be drinking tonight.
Awesome, Ray. Well, I know you got one race left before the celebrations begin, but for the final time for feature events, who do you want to give a shout to that helped to bring home this win and the championship for you?
First and foremost, Team Goon Squad for putting on a good show and always doing such a great job. You guys are cutting highlights and getting us all over Instagram, and it's awesome. It's awesome to see that stuff work out. And then I want to thank Antonio, my teammate, for putting up with a bunch of crap lately and getting into this mess with us and pulling it through, because I think we're going to pull this team championship out. My beautiful wife and kid and cat, and James East specifically.
Awesome.
I love you all.
Everybody loves you, Ray. Thank you. Congratulations and best of luck in the sprint.
Yep, let's go.
That was your newly crowned champion, Ray Aguilar, winning the final feature of this season. Don't go anywhere. We've got about a minute and a half before the final sprint race is underway, and it is going to be a barn burner. All right, race fans, we are back. The final sprint race of this season. The gloves will come off. Championships have been decided, and now it is all for the glory. Starting on pole, Leo Delmas. Jace Meyer starting second. Jake Bramley starts third. Xavier Zanabe starting fourth. Devin Hughes starts fifth. Nick Peterson starting sixth. Alex Rose starts seventh. John Kasai starting eighth. Antonio Bianchi starting ninth. Felipe Sarkis starting 10th. Jaden Calloway starts 11th. And the newly crowned champion, Ray Aguilar, will start 12th with that inverted top 12 grid. We've got half the laps and twice the action here at League Zero. The final time of this season, we will send these competitors out. And let's see who can bring it home here today. Now keep an eye out. Leo Delmas starting on pole number 20 had great pace in the feature, but just terrible, terrible luck as we get ready for the lights to come on. Chase Small will not be making his way out to the grid, so we're going to have 16 drivers start, and we are underway for the final time. Delmas gets a great launch. Chase Meyer, the number 21 machine, wants a shot at redemption, but look at Jacob Bramley. Is going to have a big run up the inside of the racetrack. We've got somebody blinking about the 6 or 7 spot. Looked like a little bit of contact there in second. Meyer's going to hold on to it. Oh, we've got big, big problems. I think Ryan Tebow just went for the ride of his life. We saw somebody pirouetting. And is it Tebow? Yes, it is. Look at that. A perfect 10. Doesn't even stick the landing. Hits the alt F4. He's had enough. He's going home. Ryan Tebow takes the toe back to the virtual hauler. He is done and out, ending this season on a sour note. Jacob Bramley also involved in some sort of incident. Oh, it looked like all sorts of, I don't know what that was, debris flying off that machine. Up front, Leo Delmas has a comfortable half-second gap. Xavier Zanabe, the flying Frenchman, in second. Nick Peterson sitting in third. Felipe Sarkis, John Kasai. Oh, we're going to have more problems. Absolute carnage here at Phillip Island. That is John Kasai with a newly remodeled race car. Kind of cute if you look at it. There was a bunch of drivers involved in that one. There's Kasai just ahead. Kasai, bends it into traffic. There's Antonio Bianchi, Jaden Calloway. Gonna have huge problems, and I'm not sure what that's gonna be for the point implications as well. Because I believe the team point's still at play. We got a great battle here for 6. Gareth McAllister, the number 25, versus Alex Rhodes in the 15. Well, it looks like Rhodes is going to make it happen. Pushes McAllister wide. McAllister's going to fire back on the inside line, though, against Rhodes. A very heated battle. We've got more problems. Xavier Zanabe has completely destroyed his race car. Was in podium contention. The Flying Frenchman, unfortunately living up to his name, goes off track, hits the embankment, and just blows the car apart. He takes a tow back to pit road. He has done it out of this one. That's going to put Felipe Sarkis, was in third, now up into second. Nick Peterson falls back into third, and look at that in the background. It's Ray Aguilar. He'll be sporting the number 1 next season instead of the 72. But he wants to finish this season strong, wants that top spot. But it's going to be tough to work through as Peterson and Sarkis side by side. Aguilar looking for an opening, but he's got to be careful. Now, he doesn't need the win at this point. He can take it easy, wave to the fans, and just kind of bask in the moment. But he is a racer, and he looks like he's going to work his way up into second. Oh, almost contact there as the track narrowed up. Aguilar, Peterson, Sarkis having to avoid contact. Now Leo Delmas, the number 20, he's got a 2.4 second gap over Aguilar, who is still sitting second with 11 laps left on the docket. I wonder, does Aguilar have the raw pace to whittle away at that gap? So I panned the camera. I thought somebody was blinking and we couldn't see him, but no. That's just how close Sarkis is off the back wing of Nick Peterson. You can see Ray Aguilar ahead getting a bit of a breakaway. He's got his head down. He wants to catch up to Leo Delmas, but it looks like, I can't tell, that may be traffic up ahead. Oh no, the race leader Leo Delmas is just spun. Aguilar is going to take over the race lead. Delmas waits for some clean track, but can't find it. Delmas snatches defeat from the jaws of victory, falls way back the standings into 8th. So that puts Aguilar as your race leader. I think that's lap traffic ahead of Aguilar. No, and now Aguilar, I got a little bit confused there. I think that's Antonio Bianchi going a lap down to his teammate. Yes, it is. You can see the mirrored cars, and look at Felipe Sarkis, Nick Peterson. A crazy battle for second. Sarkis comes out on top, quickly pulling a half-second gap over Peterson. Now, if these drivers continue to slow the pace down, that may allow Gareth McAllister in 4th and Alex Rose in 5th to catch back up and find themselves in podium contention, especially with this draft. Sarkis not able to break away from Peterson, and 10th separating the two. Is Peterson going to hop out on the inside? No. Sarkis guards the inside, saying, all right, Peterson, if you can try this, you're taking the long way around. Well, a big blink there from Sarkis. And we saw just a little bit of dirt kicked off of Gareth McAllister's number 25. So you know McAllister is on the ragged edge here. He's about 8/10 back from this extremely heated battle for second. Aguilar up front's got that clean air. Has put a 1.7 second gap on the rest of the field. wants to finish off this season well in dominating fashion. Looked like Peterson missed the mark there slightly, found himself off the line. And there's McAllister trying to put his head down, still 9/10 back. McAllister's got to be careful as well. Alex Rhodes closing in behind him. And this is where the draft is working against McAllister. Sarkis and Peterson. Wings up nose to wing, are able to gain 2/10 on that start-finish line. So if McAllister wants a shot, he really needs Sarkis and Peterson to slow the pace down, battling each other. Meanwhile, Sarkis wants to keep his head forward. He wants to whittle away at the 1.8 second gap that Aguilar has out front. What a great way to cap off this season. We've had great racing all across the track. Still 8 laps left to go. The cross green and white flags will be out this time by for Aguilar, signaling the halfway mark. Oh, was that a bit of a bobble there from Sarkis? May have missed a shift as Peterson is in hot pursuit. McAllister's fallen about 1.2 seconds back from this battle for second. Here we go, Peterson, a massive run as the draft. Sarkis once again guards the inside line. Oh, it's very, very tight here. It's going to set Peterson up for the inside. Sarkis has the back out of it to avoid getting pushed off track, so Peterson will slide up into second. There's McAllister and Rhodes, 4th and 5th, still trying to close that gap to get within podium contention. We are halfway through the final sprint race of this season here at League Zero. Jacob Bramley has to come down pit road for repairs. We go on board with Felipe Sarkis, the number 4. Sitting proudly in third, up 7 positions. Oh, loses a little bit of traction there. I was going to say rapidly closing the gap there through Peterson. I thought he was going to be holding it wide there. He was absolutely singing in that number 4. But Peterson able to pull about a half second, and now here comes McAllister. Within 6/10 of Sarkis. Oh, a big blink there from number 25. Is he within the draft? I don't think just quite. Sarkis is caught back up to Peterson. Definitely a game of consistency as Aguilar up front, clicking off laps, making it look easy. Now, Aguilar's not going wheel to wheel, elbow to elbow with any other drivers out on track. Just focusing on hitting his marks and making it clean. Aguilar's already locked up the championship. Now he just wants the bragging rights of the back-to-back wins on the season finale. I know a hat trick is 3. I'm not sure what 4 and 5 is. But if Aguilar can bring home both race wins and a championship, a very big improvement, not to mention fastest lap of the race. And has gained 11 positions, so he is currently the hard charger for this event as well. Sarkis was very tight in that corner, a bit of a bobble. Here comes McAllister. So the top 3 far from decided. McAllister in the draft, the Brazilian driver Felipe Sarkis. Sarkis tucked in behind Peterson. 3 different teams battling for those 2 podium positions. A big send from Sarkis up the inside of Peterson. He'll move back up into second. Peterson falls back to third, but look at the run from McAllister. McAllister tries the outside line to see if he can slingshot around and guard the inside against Peterson. Peterson, meanwhile, is going to try and carry speed against Sarkis. Sarkis gives him a little bit of a shove, saying, hey, this line's mine. I'll hold on to this second place, thank you very much. So it's still Aguilar, Sarkis, Peterson, McAllister, Rhodes, your top 5. And Alex Rhodes can see a very frantic battle ahead of him. So don't count that number 15 machine out of podium contention just quite yet. McAllister wants to get around Peterson as quickly as he can because he knows Rhodes is closing the gap right behind. Here we go. Is McAllister going to try and work the draft against Peterson? Oh my goodness. Looked like they almost went wheel to wheel on the start-finish line. McAllister's going to try and set up for the inside line into turn 1, but that's going to give Peterson the line into turn 2. Peterson not able to get on his preferred line as there's a Felipe Sarkis guarding the inside. Oh, look at that big move. McAllister hops out of line. Can't quite make it stick against Peterson. And here comes Alex Rhodes into the fray. Saw a little bit of a smoke there. I think that was off of Rhodes' number 15 machine. Sarkis is very fortunate the battle is going on right behind him. He's gained about 8/10 on Peterson. As Peterson getting absolutely harassed by the Australian driver. And I think Rhodes is kind of biding his time here, the number 15. Waiting for a little bit of a mistake from these drivers ahead of him. Well, a big blink there out of Sarkis. No harm, no foul. He's kind of by himself. Kasai rolled out of pit road, immediately takes a tow back, so the car must have been too damaged for him. And here we go again, the battle for third. McAllister makes the move up the inside, but Peterson should own the next corner. No, McAllister has enough. Now what's Peterson going to do? Because he's got McAllister right ahead who wants to break away and a very hungry Alex Rhodes right behind. Let's see what's going to happen. Does Peterson have the pace to catch back up and take a shot at McAllister? Sarkis in second, almost a second ahead of McAllister too. McAllister only a half second up over Peterson. But Alex Rhodes trying to make something happen here against that number 24 of Peterson. We got a crash report. Peter Renger. Oh, parked in a very precarious spot here. Thankfully able to get out of the racing line. Oh, that was the number 20, I believe. Not sure how a collision was avoided, but big thumbs up to Leo Delmas, who was able to hold on to that. Nick Peterson's back up into third, has made the move against McAllister. McAllister has all sorts of pressure from behind with Alex Rhodes, giving Felipe Sarkis a 1.3 second advantage. Rhodes is going to move up into fourth. McAllister fires back on the inside. These drivers battling like it's the final lap for the championship, but no, it's the final battle for the final podium spot. Peterson 4/10 up over McAllister. We still have 12 of the 17 entries out on track here. So Jacob Bramley, Xavier Zanave, John Kasai, Ryan Tebow, unfortunately back to the virtual hauler prematurely for the season finale. Jay Small, the number 5, did not start. Unfortunately, the number 5. He would have made our final driver in the 17-car field. Alex Rhodes, a big lunge, tries to set up along the inside of McAllister for 4th. McAllister holds on to it. In fact, kind of goes the other way. Tracks back down. Looks like Nick Peterson. Multiple different line selections going on in turn 2, but tough to tell who is faster. I dare say give it to McAllister, who's pulled back up to Peterson. And oh no, there's contact. Peterson and McAllister. Big incident there. They're stuck to each other. The track is blocked. There goes Leo Delmas around. And there is going to be words in the virtual hauler. Let's get this one queued up and see where the incident may be blamed. It looked like McAllister threw it up the inside. I know there was contact, but who's going to be at fault? Oh, I think maybe a little bit of net code. If not, it's going to be point on McAllister for getting into the back of Peterson. Leo Delmas moving up into 4th. Peterson's problems going from bad to worse. Falls back to 7th. That's going to put Alex Rhodes into the final podium position. And I believe, I'm trying to get some confirmation on this. This is Alex Rhodes' career debut here in the season finale. So able to come out very, very strong. And there is Ray Aguilar with a half lap left to go at the Australian Grand Prix here at League 0. Came into this sprint race with 0 pressure, had locked up the championship. A quarter of a lap left to go for Aguilar. 1.6 seconds up over Felipe Sarkis. Aguilar has put it into cruise control as he makes his way around the final bend. Put your hands together. Aguilar makes it back-to-back the season finale. Felipe Sarkis will get 2nd, and Alex Rhodes will lock up the top 3. Aguilar enjoying the moment with his teammate Bianchi. A great race for the Avanti Autosport drivers. And Aguilar is going to put it on for the fans. The world's slowest burnouts and donuts. We're still waiting on Alex Rhodes and Aguilar to make their way up here to the interview room. We know what Aguilar's doing. Celebrating in style. We just heard somebody in it there. And we're going to get things started here. The final podium interviews of the season. We're going to get things started with Mr. Alex Rhodes, the number 15 machine, a newcomer here at League 0. But Alex, looked like the seas parted in the sprint race and suddenly found yourself sitting in 3rd.
Yeah, I got really lucky there. Unfortunately, the other 2 guys ahead of me had a little incident there, but great race. This is my first race with this league, and great group. You guys put on a great show, so thank you.
Well, Alex, I mean, like you said, first race here with the series. I mean, you don't really know what to expect. You don't know what drivers to maybe give more room to and which ones you can trust to go wheel to wheel. But how do you kind of quickly adapt to those situations where you're thrown in the meat grinder in a sprint race?
Yeah. Well, I think my expectation going in was just to see what opportunities came up front, but be watching behind and kind of let the guys go. And it kind of naturally happened in the first lap there. But I think I just watched the guys ahead of me for a few laps and see how they drive and go from there.
Well, a great way to start your debut here at League Zero. Hopefully, we're going to see you in that number 15 machine as a full-time entry next season. But before we let you go and celebrate with that first podium, who do you want to give a shout-out to that made it happen for you?
I'd like to thank my uncle John Willemie. He sponsors me in some real life racing, so really appreciate his time and efforts. Yep, John Willemie.
Awesome. Alex, congratulations. Great job here at League Zero. We look forward to following both your sim racing career as well as your real life shenanigans.
Yeah, thank you, James. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. That was Alex Rhodes bringing it home his debut, bringing home a third, a very respectable third. Up next, the brazen Brazilian Felipe Sarkis. Welcome back to the interview room, my friend. What a great night for you in that number 4.
Yeah, man, thank you. I'm starting to like, you know. Too bad. Final race.
Well, hey, I mean, momentum is still momentum, be it the season finale or not. We're seeing you more on the pointy end of the field. You've been getting faster and faster and arguably more consistent. And in interviews past, you've said that was attributed to more and more practice. Is that still the case for you?
Oh, yes, for sure. We've been practicing a lot and um, like doing great practice, you know, not only like lapping on track, you know, like analyzing telemetry and stuff. So that's the secret right there.
Now, you say great practice. What's the difference for the viewers at home that maybe aren't race fans or just getting into it? What's the difference between practicing and just turning laps?
Well, the way I see, like sometimes you are with a friend and you're like just talking on radio, you know, and lapping, and if you made a mistake, you don't stop and you keep like making the same mistake lap after lap. But when you're like practicing for real, you're going like corner after corner, seeing what you're doing differently, you know. And then by the time you map out track, you start to battling to see where the grip is, you know, on the outside, on the inside. That's great practice for me.
Well, very well said, Felipe. It's been great having you up here in the broadcast booth more often this season. Always a lot of fun watching that number 4 machine make some clean passes. Before I let you go, celebrate with the rest of the guys. Who do you want to give a shout out to that led to such a great result both tonight and throughout the season?
Well, my team, Squid Gang, my teammate, Jaden, and you guys that make this happen, you know. You, James, do a great job here. And Ray and Bianchi and the other guys that organize these, I believe Peterson also. So I'll stay here with you guys on next season for sure.
Well, we're extremely glad to have you, Felipe. Always a pleasure, and hope to have you up here a bunch next season as well.
Well, I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was Felipe Sarkis bringing it home in second. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Ray Aguilar, bringing home the feature win, bringing home the championship, and capping things off with a sprint race. Can you ask for a better night here at League Zero?
You know what's funny? It's funny you say that because as you were saying those words, 2 Chinooks just shot over the top of my house. So I want to thank the troops as well because that was awesome.
Well, the patriotic music is blaring. We've got an American once again will be sporting the number 1 plate here at League Zero. And Ray, I mean, it's been a long season. Things just went perfectly tonight. We know that's not always the case. I mean, it's racing. It's not collecting a paycheck. But kind of walk us through this this year in broad strokes and what it takes to bring the number 1 plate back again.
You know what? It's consistency because I am not as fast as the fastest aliens we get that show up here. We have people in this league like Finley that come here that are just uncanny talent. They're amazing, and I can't usually beat them on straight up raw pace. But I do think I can beat them in consistency. That seemed to work this season.
Well, I mean, it went well for you, and tonight, especially the sprint race, it was all about consistency. Once you got out front, avoid all the carnage behind you. I mean, in the past, we've seen you had to fight tooth and nail in these sprint races to get every spot, but it seemed like after the opening few laps, I mean, it was the race show up front with no issues.
Yeah, if you saw, I was a little worried because Leo was the guy in the lead in the beginning, and as we found out, he's super quick tonight too. He actually had the fastest lap time in practice, and so I was concerned I wasn't gonna be able to catch him. But again, just consistency and trying to reduce mistakes, it ended up winning the night.
Well, it won the night. It won the championship. Heck, it won everything tonight. So, Ray, a huge congratulations. It's good to have you back with that #1 plate. You've got the privilege, the pleasure, not only the final send-offs of the night, but the final send-offs of the season. Who do you want to give a shout-out to, and what's the words of wisdom for the kids at home?
Antonio for sucking it up and getting to this race and doing what he needed to do to close out the team championship. Want to thank especially Chase. He volunteered his time for almost the entire season to do race control. So he's a solid dude, put in a good amount of time. He's going to be racing next season, so look out for him, the #5. And TGS for putting on the good show as always, man. You guys make this go from like a 80 to like 110 on the fun scale. And so we really enjoy and are thankful that you do this for us.
Well, couldn't do it without you guys, the racers. Ray, congratulations, my friend. Thank you guys for putting on a good show, and looking forward to seasons to come.
Me too. I'll see you good, buddy.
Thank you, sir. That was Ray Aguilar capping off the season strong. He won the feature, he won the sprint, he won the championship, and Avanti Autosports also brought home the win with the team championship. For the final time here at Season 7 of League Zero, my name has been James East with Team Goon Squad Broadcasting. Thank you all so much for spending so many Thursday nights with us, supporting the drivers, supporting the league, as well as supporting your favorite broadcaster. These shows would not happen without you. Thank you as always. I look forward to having you next season. My name's James East. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everybody.